Warning: this podcast may contain explicit content. Parental approval advised. Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Speed Limit Podcast. And shout out to my friends over at Daily Deviate. Please visit their website at dailydeviate.com. And also shout out to Keldrick Captain Happy and his Deviate Radio. You can visit him at deviateradio.com. And also shout out to Purge, my guild, my motherfucking guild, who just downed Saffron. So excited to watch the fight, even though I wasn't there. And, I can't wait until I get back into the game. So, yeah. Okay, so our guest today, he's a Tauren warrior. And he does a lot of RP. Please welcome the one and only Gorge.
It says, you give a poor man a fish and you feed him for a day. You teach him to fish. You give him
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going good.
Yeah, good. Shit, let's make this happen.
Make it happen. Make it so.
What are you up to?
I was actually been playing League of Legends team fight tactics and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, how long has that game been out?
I think 11 years.
Shit, the first time I found out about that game is through my friends. Didn't they have another one? What was that other one? They had another version of that game.
Dota?
Dota, yes, Dota. Dota was the first one, right?
Yeah, it was the first. Well, it was the first one that brought it to the scene. I think Dota came from something else.
I won't be surprised. It's usually one of those games that became popular, but it derived from another game.
Aeon of Strife, I believe it was called. I think.
What is it called?
That. Aeon of Strife.
I've never heard it.
I think it was an old StarCraft map.
I see.
And I think it all came from there. I'm not sure if that was the game though. I don't know.
Yeah,
it sounds familiar.
Yeah, they always had this thing in games where, an original game is popular, and then some company comes along to not copy but implement the same style. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
then,
know what you're saying.
And then they become the most popular from that point on. But I'm not sure which one's more popular, Dota or League of Legends.
I think League is right now.
Because I think Dota, whenever I see people playing that, players, I think my friends play them. They're more of like a hardcore type. What is that type of game again? It's
MOBA.
MOBA, yes, MOBA.
You think multiplayer online battle arena?
Battle arena. Yeah, it has the same structure with one of the old games that I played a couple of times. Not Path of Exile. Is something about gods. You probably know what this is.
Yeah, I think I played that one
Titans
too.
or something like that. What the fuck was that?
It was one that was also a spin-off. I played some of it, but I don't think it really got far.
Yeah, because I think one of the original version of that was fun, and then they kept adding a bunch of stuff in it, like micro transactions and crap like that.
Oh,
I forgot what
yeah,
it's called.
that always kills the game.
does. So yeah, I've never played League of Legends. I played Dota just for a little bit, and I forgot the actual. I know the gameplay, like it's typical MOBA, but how many characters are in there now? How many classes? Do they go by classes?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think they do, but it's not as cut and dry as it used to be. I think like I just came back from League after a 2 year hiatus, and it's like night and day difference from what it was before. I'm like, "Ugh, I'll just stick to this small game mode for now."
I see.
Uh,
Dude, it's only
but
online, right? Or
it's all online. What there is, I can tell you for sure, that's still here from day one. There's like roles, like there's a mid lane, top lane, bottom lane support role, and a jungle role,
hmm
and that still holds out. That was there. That's still the thing to this day.
that's still the main base classes that you need to
Yeah,
have.
yeah. You could be creative sometimes. I haven't seen much people going outside the lines, but like I know back in the old days, you could do it, and if you did, you could do it relatively successful.
hmm
Might be able
Did
to still, but not sure.
Did you play Heroes of the Storm?
Yes, I did.
How do you compare that with any other Dotas out there? Because Blizzard likes to, like I was saying before, Blizzard and some companies would like to, like, not copy, but implement the
Ride
same.
the bandwagon.
Yeah, ride the bandwagon, exactly. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Here's the Stone wasn't so bad, but uh, it was just fun casually at the time. I really couldn't get into it because it was different. It was a lot different than every other type of that thing where it focused more on objectives rather than uh, you know beating the enemy team down to dust and stuff.
hmm is there like a similarities whatsoever besides the top down screen? The battles, how do they differ, or how do they relate to each other? Let's say Heroes of Storm, and since you've been playing League of Legends, if you want to compare and contrast that, how would you say it?
I never really saw any set in stone jungle role, I guess I should say. But there were people who would roam around the map, but I don't think anyone ever lived in the jungle. I could be wrong. That might have been a strategy, but I never, I never seen that
Mm.
in all my times with Heroes of Storm. It was basically everyone had to get together when an objective popped up, and you had to win the objective over in order to beat the game or claim victory.
Mhm. Yeah,
While other MOBAs, you just smash the enemy team in.
yeah, that's what basically Heroes of Storm is. I mean, there's a little strategy to it. I find that specific classes are very beneficial on depending on the map.
Yes, yes, that is for sure.
Like I used Ragnaros a lot in Heroes of the Storm
Oh,
because he has this ability where like a wave of fire goes into like one line, and that's really really cool and overpower.
I love that building. I love it when he could merge and take over a building in its gigantic form, or he could take
Yes.
over a destroyed structure and do it, and then gain new sets of abilities. It was like, yeah,
hmm but the thing about that is, then you'd have to level each time you do a match, which, I mean, that's fine, I guess. If you That's why they create different different classes, right? So you can it switch interchangeably, and so you don't get sick in one class when you're playing the game.
yeah. Try to jump from new class to new class to new thing to new thing. Try out other things.
So besides this MOBA, League of Legends, how active are you right now on World of Warcraft Classic? And
I have
term Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, on classic.
Hmm.
It's I've been really focused on it a lot. Um, Naxxramas is finally out, and that's been a fun raid and trying to get into there.
Oh yeah.
Um,
With what guild you're in?
I'm in the Thunderhoof tribe, but I raid with Landlubbers,
Cool, cool.
and they've been a great guild since day one.
They've been
Took
they've
me in.
they've been together. You guys have been together for a while.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, since Molten Core.
Yeah, it's insane. How what
Uh,
became like how did you guys decide to I know you're new to landlubbers, right?
New to Landlubbers.
Yeah, are you new in the guild, landlubbers guild?
No, I've been with them since phase one of the game.
Oh wow, I thought you were in Thunderhoof tribe.
I am I'm in the Thunderhoof tribe, but the Landlubbers are they took me into their raids, and they plug other
Oh,
people in. So
okay.
yeah, there you go.
Oh, I
Been
see.
it's been a wild, awesome ride. Yeah, and
That's
we've been together since phase one.
that's
I've been raiding with them since phase one.
that's kind of unique though too. You know, you rarely find a player who is in a different guild, but close to another guild that runs. You know that takes you in and trusts you and runs with you, even though you're not in a guild. Has there any like thoughts and maybe issues where players in landlubbers would say like, oh hey, you should just join our guild, if you don't then we're not gonna bother taking you in. Has there been anything like that at all?
I I think mostly on my end, but no, they actually really like. I thought, oh, do they actually, do they look at me different? No, no, but they've been loving me since the start, and I've always been like, wow. And you're right, it's totally new.
Hmm.
I've been playing World of Warcraft since vanilla, and you would never see something like that. You would never see a guild take people from outside and let them come join with them. It's always been no, you have to share the same guild tag. And I've seen landlubbers did that first, and I'm seeing other guilds starting to do that too.
Hmm.
And it's amazing just to see that, see an entire realm actually working together. I'm going, oh my,
Yeah,
I yeah.
that's so crazy. And you mentioned vanilla. Back then people were so hard ass back then. Do you remember like how to join another guild, like even like a progress guild? Because I remember having to apply like actually written application. Like
A resume, right?
they would yeah, exactly, they would have like websites, like you have to fill it and you have to wait and then you have to have the interview. And in comparing the today, you just talk to somebody and they invite you. It's like, okay, here you go, boom.
Your resume is just seeing how well you do, and come join us in this raid. Even then, like we'll bring you into the guild and just see how you are and see what you do. And just like there's no resume. You're absolutely right. It was so yeah, it was so hardcore back then. And I think it was because everyone was new to it. So it's like, yeah, we'll just do it like the resume stuff. It's like, guys, whoa, hold up, it's no job. But
Yeah.
but because it was so new, I think at the same time it was kind of like exciting, I guess, at the same time. So it's like, oh boy, I'm gonna join a new guild. I'm just gonna it may be easier to write a resume for a job if you think about it too.
Hmm. God damn, it's so crazy, man. Think about it, and we're here. I'm so happy that they brought this up. They revived this vanilla experience. It's not as close, but shit, I can't complain, man.
You can never bring back the vanilla experience 100%. And
Hmm.
as even said before, some things were better left behind, like going into a new guild. This entire realm, Deviant Delight, there's guilds even working together That's never happened. It was all competition. It was like, no, we have to beat you, dog eat dog world. And
Exactly.
like, you see Naxxramas released now. I was expecting, hell on earth, but it's been kind of quite the opposite. Guilds have been banding together, whereas before guilds would go, the big guilds would eat the smaller guilds and take their important players, and the smaller guilds would, just disappear and all that stuff. Now it's like everyone's like, we gotta work together to take out Kel'Thuzad. And it's like, oh, this is amazing.
It is for sure. I mean, you get one of those similarities here and there, but not a lot, not quite a lot. I mean, you get this. I think it's more of a, probably like mostly of the individual players who are leading some guilds. They probably had the same kind of mentality back in where people used to play vanilla, and those people are diminishing. they're almost gone. So I mean, we had a few people that left the server because of that issue, and I'm kind of glad about that, but I wish that they'd stay, because that would just benefit more of their reputation. I guess it won't like, it's not gonna hurt it, but it's better to have somebody that not hated in the server, but they have like crappy reputation, but they're still in the server, to just keep the respect, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. It's like interesting that way, thinking like that, and at least have a different output on things too would be nice too. But
Yeah, I mean, of course, some people can't really help it. They don't have a choice but to leave the server. That's understandable. If they have no absolutely chance of making any friends here, they don't really like this place, and you can't force people to just stay here, because I guess it's not for everybody.
or if some people feel like they just don't feel happy here, it's like I've had a few friends had that just felt bad and miserable here, and it's like they left and now they're feeling better on a different server. And it's like, yeah, it's not, this server's not for everyone. Try to find your own server, your own path, and don't be afraid, because it'll be better for you for yourself, and it was a group of friends. It's better for them and everyone around them that they had to find a new home and took the risk, and they're feeling if they don't feel as much stressed out. And it's like, okay, that's fair. It's
For sure.
reasonable.
Yeah. So I know I've asked this a lot of times when I have guests, and whenever they, excuse me, whenever they mention they played vanilla. What server did you play on, and what faction?
I've been Horde for life. I don't know what a lot.
For sure.
I've given Alliance a shot for like a few weeks there. It's like, no, Horde for life.
Sure. Yeah.
My old server was Thunderhoof, I believe,
Okay.
or
Okay.
Bloodhoof or something like that. I think it was Thunderhoof.
What was it like there? Is it like a PvP, RP, or?
It was actually a normal server. And so when Classic came back, I was like, I'm going to try. I went again I tried something new and went into a PvP server. And I decided, like, I'm going to re-roll again into RP PvP server. And I was like, Deviant Delight, I'll try that a shot. And yeah, here I am.
So that's the reason. That's the reason that you picked Deviate Delight, because you just wanted to try it, and Did you research this beforehand, or was it just like a random thought that you just decided then?
Well, I was in Sulfuraz and I hit level 60, and it's like, it doesn't feel that much. It didn't really feel that much different than back in the day. It's like, I want to try something new. And I did some research in terms of what time zone worked best for me, and it was like Deviate Delight. So it's like, okay, do they have the name of Gorge? And it's like, Gorge. Perfect, I'm moving.
Nice.
And I leveled from 1 to 60 a warrior in Sulfuraz, and then I started over again in Deviant Delight 1 to 60 as a warrior. That was fun times.
So your character Gorge, Now, was this your character in vanilla?
No, no, he had a totally different name that had to change. I felt like had to change. It was like it was a. Oh yes, he was a Tauren, and his name was Bloody Bull. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
first off, that server collapsed, so I had to move to a new server,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to change that name because it was already taken. So I called it Bloody Beast.
Mm-hmm.
And then years gone by, I stopped for really playing WoW 100%. Like I only played it about half the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like halfway into an expansion, I would quit, and so I kept doing that until Legion expansion, and I played that through. It was a fun, great experience. Um, and the expansion after was Battle for Azeroth. That was a terrible one. But that's when I finally started getting to the like, okay, this is the first time I'll try out these roleplay servers. So I was looking into it, and there's the one on retail called Warm Rest Accord, and it's basically the Horde roleplay server. And I decided to move there. Unfortunately, the name Gorge was not available, so I had to change it to Gorgest.
Gorgeous.
Well, first I changed it to Manic until I came up with the idea of Gorgeous, what came into Shadowlands. There we go. It's like, no, I didn't change it to Gorgeous yet. I did it in Shadowlands. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorge.
Now, when so you had no RP experience before Classic came out at all?
I had just a tiny bit in terms of WoW, a tiny bit into BFA, but it didn't. You didn't really role play much in Battle for Azeroth. It was not a good time. Everyone was quite miserable on the Horde side with what happened and all.
Mm-hmm.
But then, in terms of role play, I do play D&D and Pathfinder, and I try to, and I kind of I do my best there, and I think I do a pretty good job, maybe.
Yeah, that's cool. Cause I was gonna ask you that. I was gonna ask if you played D&D. One of the people that I interviewed, Alien Guy, plays D&D, and he kind of captured a bunch of that experience and put it in through the game, which was kind of funnily explained it. I don't know the details, but I forgot the details actually. But something like that. Is this similar to what you've kind of experienced in Deviate Delight and how you spend your time RPing with other players here?
Kind of, but I actually prefer a lot more on Deviant Delight as opposed to D&D somewhat. And at the same time, there's ups and downs. Well, I shouldn't say that, but the difference between, I'd say, on WoW and D&D is the fact that you don't get to roll dice to do any interaction. Well, you don't need dice in D&D, but in certain things you have to roll the dice. Well, in WoW, you don't have to roll the dice. You can talk it out, agree with other people. And I prefer talking out like, well, it makes sense if this happened and all that stuff, but you can sometimes just roll roll a 20 and that'll solve certain outcomes in World of Warcraft. Well, in D&D, you have to roll the dice. It's like, okay. Sometimes you could talk to it, but most people prefer the dice. And it's like, I don't know. I don't think it's comfortable seeing a giant Minotaur man lose to a small little gnome because the Minotaur man rolled a net 1 or something.
Mm-hmm. Because the dice itself is your player, anyway, it's your character. Then you get you get to control. It's just a manual you control. I mean, when in terms of role playing and classic, it's not like battles or anything like that. It's more like, I mean, I've never seen both factions do battle scenes as role playing, and how would that, if there is one, and how would one execute that? I mean, is it is there gonna be like a script, or will they actually kill each other, or like will it become like some sort of play that is all staged, or since there's no dice, I mean there's rolls, but then again they could use their actual abilities to cast a fireball, or uh you know strike a sword or something like that. If When it comes to that, how would one start a role play battle scenes with both factions involved?
I know my first actually when I was in there the first time that happened a long time ago near the start of Classic, and that was with me in the that was with Gorge in the Thunderhoof tribe, and it was with can't remember with the guild there, but I do remember Keldrick was there, Captain Happy.
Yeah. Yes.
The way that happened, we decided, okay, we have a line of torn thunderhoofs on the Kodos on one side, and we had the lines on the other side, and we decided to make it a respectful one-on-one duels.
Mm-hmm.
Keldrick always beat Gorge, no chance. It was actually it was the first time we actually ever met, and we took screenshots after it. It was so great.
That's funny.
But that's one example.
Mm-hmm.
Landlubbers and Vengeance of the Loon have done something like that twice for a role-play battleground.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically took both guilds, I believe, and they just fought each other and just go into this, area and just all-out war. And they just used classes. They used the classes and the abilities and all that stuff, just like a battleground.
Cool.
So I think it depends on the two guilds, because you could actually get two groups of people and decide, let's do it like D&D, where we take a D20 and roll it on stuff and see how that would determine things. Because sometimes that's sometimes even fairer if you look at it, because if you take a look at the battleground perspective, certain class, this one side rolls over the other side. Why? Because they have mages and the other side had warriors, and it's like, what can a warrior do to the mage? Absolutely nothing, really, and it's be like just one-sided. Where if you did a D20, then it might even the fight and stuff. So it's like, there might be a chance for each other. So there's always advantages to just have a battleground or a D20, but I always personally prefer the battleground style.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Has there any like members that on each guild? Has there anybody who tries to like disobey rules and crap like that? Has that happened?
Anybody disobeying rules or isolate? Honestly, I've never seen that happen personally. I've just seen what I've seen instead was instead of breaking rules, I really never saw really many people or anybody break rules. But I've seen people, come and go. They play the game, they enjoyed it, but they move on and try out other things. And sometimes they come back. Sometimes they just keep trying other things and stuff.
For sure, that sounds like me sometimes. I know I got invited on so many freaking RP stuff, and sometimes I would just. It has really nothing to do with my mood on RPing or not, but sometimes if people, they would just catch me on the wrong timing. If I'm like upstairs or something on my laptop, I would have. I would just log in randomly and check my mail and crap like that. And, somebody whispers to me, hey, we're RPing, you want to come? I'm like, all right, fine. And then all of a sudden, I got busy with my real life situation and, like, I had to log off. So if you're one of those people, I apologize. It's not like I'm trying to avoid you guys, so.
It's actually a nice thing I've seen here in Classic, that a lot of people are very understanding, and everyone's going like, yeah, buddy, like, real life first, like it's understandable. I'm pretty sure the people you're referring to totally understand, it's like, yeah, you're busy. It's like, it's all right and all that stuff.
For sure. I think so too. Everybody has been really nice in here, and, and I've not had a single one that actually, when I've interviewed quite a lot, and I've not singled one who tried to be an asshole or anything like that. Even the people that don't particularly like a lot of things that's happening in our server. Maybe prior to that, maybe before that, and then I interviewed them, and after they didn't like it and then they leave. But I have not had any messages from any other members or people that I've interviewed before, and that that would try to say that they would, oh, I didn't mean to say that, or whatever that, in that case, whatever their reasoning is. Nobody had said anything to me. That's why I'm still kind of keep going, and I'm still interviewing people in here, because everybody has been like really, really nice. And it just comes, it just became into this more entertaining for me now. And I need more people to interview.
Well, it's amazing that you're doing it, because it's like again, in my time of WoW, this is my first WoW interview. There we go. And I never heard of things like this happen, really, where it's beauty of Classic. It seems there's a lot more fan-made stuff like this. And, we got the Tipsy Titan, we've got Deviant Delight's newspaper, we've got the Noggenfog newspaper. Like, there's these interviews, there's like a lot more fan-made stuff, and it's like, oh my goodness, this is more of this, please. It's amazing.
I know people should create more of this. And in terms of that, I mean, you started streaming now too, right?
Yes, that's correct.
That's awesome. I gotta I think did I follow you? I gotta get you a follow. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to streaming, how did you get started on, like, did you just decided on streaming because you started rating, getting into more high end game rating? Was that the reason, or is there more into that?
A little more into that, actually. I've always wanted to try to stream, but I'm bad with programs, so I'm like, okay, so how does this work? Yeah, okay. Wait, that brings me even more questions. I don't know.
Sure.
But so it took me months to try to get set it up, maybe even years, I'd say. And very nervous too. It's like, I don't know, I'm scared.
Sure.
So I'm doing streaming just to make me a bit more less shy and a bit more, brave at things and stuff like that. So but I like Warcraft, so I just do it whenever I raid and stuff, just to try to, get me a little bit more out there. It's just, okay, I can now go out in public.
That's awesome, man. Now, do you get into Gorge's how do you say Gorge or George? Gorge?
It's Gorge.
Gorge. Now, when you get into that character, what's that?
Sorry, a lot of people say George, and I love it when they make that mistake. It's so awesome.
That's funny.
People make name mistakes. I make so many name mistakes, and I just kind of I actually love it when it's all done, because it's like,
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Alien Guy. I when I met him, I was in Badlands, and Bonesy was with him, and Sharp Tusk, and they invited me. I was just like randomly appeared in Badlands. I think I was checking my mail or something. My hearth was there, and probably the night before we were raiding Molten Core or something like that. And they saw me, like, hey, come with us. I'm like, all right, fine. And I started talking to him. I'm like, I don't recognize this. Like, I cannot figure out how to pronounce his name. So I started calling him Alingui, and it became Linguini. And then finally, figured out Alien Guy.
I still call my Linguini.
Yeah, people still call him Linguini. It's funny.
It's like, I don't, like, first time I thought it's Alien Guy. Alien Guy? What? It makes sense, but it's like, I called you Linguini now, but it's stuck. I can't call you Alien Guy, but it's
Have you heard about his brothel in Ironforge? He has
What?
a brothel.
What?
Yes.
I have not heard of this.
Yes. You should ask him about it.
I'll
Yes.
have to sometime.
Yes. Linguini's. It's called Linguini's pasta. Um, the biggest buns you can get in Azeroth.
I'll have to see it sometime. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they have the biggest buns you can get in Azeroth. I think that's what it is. Yeah, the slogan. Yeah,
The biggest buns.
yeah, because
Oh my
yeah. So when you uh in Gorge's character, I noticed the similarities on your voice, your actual voice, with Gorge's voice. Like I see I imagine the connection. It's almost like I'm talking to Gorge when you're actually talking, because I cannot imagine anyone else, anything else that Gorge sounds like, because Gorge sounds like a true like character. If you know what I'm saying, you've probably already mastered that, because that's how you talk all the time.
Yeah, well, it actually took a while for me to get it down. Even probably, I could have a brain fart here and there. It's just trying to get Gorge's voice, because sometimes and then it's like, okay, what was it again? Okay, it's like this. Gorge. Uh,
That's
but
pretty,
yeah,
that's pretty crazy. Now, how much did you practice when you decided that this is Gorge's voice? This is gonna be Gorge's voice. I'm not gonna change it. Did you or did you just went out on a whim just like that right away?
on a whim, on a whim, just like that, right away, and probably had some changes here and there. But geez, if I recorded my voice, say a year or two even ago, I'd be like, wow, oh my goodness, how much? Oh, it's so night and day. Oh my. Especially with like brain farts here and there. It's like, okay, because what if I remember one time I tried to make him sound like and it just mixed them up and started from there and mixed some other things there, like someone with who smoked a lot. Oh, and then mixed it all up together and it's gorgeous.
Gorgeous Gorge. Hell yeah. Now, when it comes to the way you would speak with Gorge, it seems like you have it down where, the grammar, it sometimes it how do I say this? You always use the S's and the yas. That one. That's my favorite. Yas.
Yes.
Yes, that's like that's you. That's your character, man.
Oh, and yes.
Yes, that one too.
Yes.
Is there
Uh.
any is there anybody else who has a character here that, well, like Captain Happy does have one, but he uses it interchangeably. He doesn't use it all the time. I don't know who else does. Do you know anybody who does this? Who else does this besides you?
Who's in their character like most of the time?
Most
like,
of the time, yeah.
Sharp Tusk. Sharp Tusk is in character so many times I've only like maybe seen Sharp Tusk out of character, not even in game. In Discord I've heard Sharp Tusk talk, like rarely even speaks in Discord just to stay in character, and I've only heard Sharp Tusk speak like twice, I think.
Sure.
And it's like, whoa, now that is devotion to staying in character. I'm like, holy moly, holy Gorge.
It seems like a lot of players in here are true to their character too. You have not even like the way they speak, but you have Tiny Traveler who just RP walks everywhere. You have you Gorge. You have Sharp Task, and we have what's his name, Raging Cajun, who is who doesn't want to join a guild. He's a guildless forever. He's not gonna change. I even like talk to him about that kind of stuff. It's like, no, I'm not. I don't think that's gonna benefit me at all. I'm true to my own self, and I'm gonna be on my own. But people would actually, guild would actually invite him to raid with them. That's not a problem.
Yeah, no, he's been raiding with the landlubbers quite often too now. It's like, no problem. He's not in any guild. It's like, oh, okay, bring him along.
That's cool, man. Now, can we get into Gorge? Can you bring him out?
Oh, you want to know about Gorge?
Yeah. Hello, Gorge.
Hello. Gorge, it's Gorge.
So, Gorge, what is your favorite snack?
Food.
Straight answer. That's awesome. Food.
Oh, meat and cheeses, but food. Meat, cheese, food. Meat, cheese. Milk.
Now, milk. Does that help you in your battles within Naxxramas?
Oh, you gotta be big, strong, and tough to go there. You gotta be biggest, strongest, toughest. You gotta be the most gorgeous. Yeah. Gorge.
Now, are you friend with Franquito at all?
With who?
Franquito, the cheese vendor.
Franquito. Gorge has not seen Franquito in forever. Where's Frankie?
Well, did you hear about that? What happened when he apparently kidnapped Talat?
What? He kidnapped Talat?
Yes, he did.
Oh, Gorge. Maybe Gorge heard but forgot, and never heard. Or what happened?
Well, that he kidnapped him and Talat went away for quite a while, and Franquito apparently fed him his own sweat, and that's how Talat survived. And Talat finally got a hold of his friends to save him, and thus he's back. And Franquito was never seen anywhere again.
Whoa, it's the first time Gorge ever heard that. Whoa.
Do you have anything to do with that at all?
No.
All right. Then I can talk to Talat. Maybe he can clear you up with his list of kill list. Then maybe if I can convince him not to pursue his assassination, about randomness, about random killings, including you. Hopefully not you, but are you sure you have nothing to do with that?
Gorgeously, positively gorgeous Gorge did nothing to do with that.
Now, I'm not an interrogator or anything like that, but when did the last time you saw Franquito?
Oh, it's been like maybe over a year. Oh, it's been so long. Gorge misses his cheese.
Where does he usually get his cheese from? Do you know? And why is it so popular?
Gorge doesn't know where he got his cheese. All Gorge knows was we always met up either in Orgrimmar or Thunderbluff.
I always seen him at Thunderbluff whenever we port out there from battles, and he's always there by the mage's teleportation area. I wonder if that's where he's hiding.
Maybe. Other times we saw him at the pond near the entrance of Thunderbluff.
Near the down the entrance, or like up the one of the lift, or is it around?
when you just get off the lift into Thunder Bluff, there's this beautiful pond. It's at like near the center, at the bottom of the stairs, to leading up to other rises, and it's where Gorge's Chief Alvi likes to hang out and wetting up the hooves and have a good time.
Nice. Well, well, enough with Frankito. I think that wherever he is, I think he needs to be careful on showing up somewhere. Otherwise, Talat will get him and his friends, of course.
Oh, Gorge hopes he's safe. Even still, Gorge misses his cheese. No.
Yeah. So when Gorge prepare, not to change the subject, but when Gorge prepares for a big raid battle, what do you, in terms of preparation, what do you do first? Do you go to like a DMT buffs? Do you farm at all for your consumables? Of course, we're talking about next year, but is there any days or any weeks that you don't feel like farming at all, and you do okay in raid and nobody tells you otherwise?
Gorge is a pretty naughty bull man there. Gorge only goes to the Diamol tribute runs with the landlubbers, or they're always so nice to bring Gorge along for them. But Gorge mostly just exercise, workout, sleep, then Diamol. That's kind of Gorge's preparation. Gorge maybe should do a lot more farming and stuff, but it's just, it interferes with working out and exercises.
For sure. And in terms of within the loot system of landlubbers, when they take you to raid with them, we're talking about just the max or AQ. How does the loot get distributed among the players who aren't in Landlubbers Guild? What loot system do they use?
So you just you sign up this paper thingy, and they say, hey, here's a marker to have this anything called soft reserve on one item. So you pick an item and you soft reserve it, and then if it drops, you'll either get it or you'll compete with other people who also have soft reserve on it, and if you don't win the item, or if the item doesn't drop, then you get to have a bonus for it next time. So if you only the people with a bonus can compete in the item with other people with a bonus, just so that you don't get nothing out of it, and you keep that bonus unless you switch to a new item to soft reserve, and then repeats over again after that. Oh yes, it's so nice. Yes,
and that works out pretty good then with your situation and other members or non-members in the whole raid then.
Yes, as long as you just show up and help.
Now, does it have anything to do with your attendance too? Let's say you keep showing up in every raid, right? And and one person that doesn't really show up that much, and will that impact the distribution of the loot?
Well, yeah. If you let's say Gorge, not really sure on it, but Gorge believes that if someone was showing up for a long time, and then if someone new comes along, the person who kept showing up all the time would be ahead and would have an advantage. But it's been there since day one, and the new person would either have to wait in line or soft reserve an item that the person would need, and no one else soft reserved. So it has you gotta be creative and all that stuff.
Cool. Now, has there been any problems? I know that landlubbers have been out there for a while now, and they've been together forever, pretty much since day one. Has there any issues with any other guild out there? I know we've talked about. Um, yeah, has there any other issues with guild there at all? If there is, are you allowed to
Honest-
share that? Are you allowed to share those information?
Honestly, there hasn't been like like issues with other guilds. You mean, sorry?
Yeah, other guilds or other members in other guilds.
No, no, not really.
Cool. That's good to hear, man. That's
I tell
that's
you, cool.
that's really rare too. I know you've been in Purge too. Nax run.
Before the landlubbers could get their Naxxramas runs going, Purge needed help. So it's like, hey, do you mind, helping us on one run? It's like, oh, yes, 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 yes. Get ready for landlubbers Naxxramas, and it was very eye opening. It's like, whoa, whoa, so this is what's gonna happen. Whoa.
Yeah, we were pretty excited that you were in there with us. And has did the landlubbers okay you with that? Did you had to ask him first? What was the deal with that? I mean, obviously you didn't have to ask in your terms, but um, was there any say at all that they said like, oh, you can't be in that raid because you belong to us, anything like that?
From Gorge's perspective, landlubbers promoted people going to Nax raids with other people just to get a feel and prepare for it, because the night witches were helping the landlubbers too to get prepared for some runs for Naxxramas. And I'm pretty sure there've been other guilds preparing up, if they needed someone, going there just to get ready to see what it's like, get the feel and all that stuff. And it made a real big difference just to, get you ready for it, because
Now, when it comes to were you a tank then when you joined the Purge Naxxramas?
Gorge was tank, yes. Gorge
Uh,
was tough.
And are you tank now and landlubbers?
Yes. Tough.
Tough. Nice. Now, um, is there like what's your what is that word? Achievement. Do you have any achievement in terms of getting a specific item in Naxxramas at all, or do you just want to be in the action?
I will. Well, most of the action, and hopefully to hopefully take down Kel'Thuzad before certain events happen, certain burning events happen. But even then, it's been a real blast just to go into Naxxramas. It's like, oh, it's so different. It's so fun. It's so enticing.
Did you get to play? Did you get to do that back in vanilla then?
Nope. It was the untouchable. It was the mysterious, elusive, dangerous raid that only the best of the best could go, and even then you couldn't make it if you weren't even the top of the top of the top dogs, because we never knew what we were doing. No one knew what they were doing. It was so funny.
For sure, yeah. They had the same. I had the same feeling. It was kind of like a mysterious area when it comes to that back in vanilla. Just the thought of it, I was just like, what was it like? And I did remember back in Wrath when they re-released it. I had a Death Knight, and I was a tank, and going through that fights, it's like it's so awesome, but it was so easy. You didn't have to have consumables. No flasking, no any other potions and crap like that.
Oh, it became. Gorge was also tried out the Death Knight jam, and was DPS instead. And yeah, it was like, oh boy, going to the next room. Wow, this is just a cakewalk. This isn't what. Oh, this is not what Gorge signed up for. No, 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 no.
It's been really really awesome.
Yes, the Gorge, the Gorge will say it's like, oh, you have to have consumables. Gorge would like the challenge without having that, but if that has to be there, that has to be there.
So, what's the plan when certain expansion comes out, burning expansion? What's the plan with you, with Gorge? Um, going through this phase after Nax, and assumingly and hopingly and pretty much predicted that Burning Crusade is coming out as the next classic expansion. Do you have any uh, prior plan before that releases or after it releases?
Probably slow down a bit because it's been really crazy. But Gorge hopes to have Nax still going, for the people that missed it and didn't, claim all those collectible things that, won't exist forever. That's the thing. Gorge has a feeling Naxxramas is the old good Naxxramas is going to disappear, and the new ugly one is gonna come and be like, no, 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 no. So try to get all the people that want the collectibles out of the way, and hopefully have a more relaxing, fun time in Naxxramas. Like, it's still fun, but very intense. So maybe fun and relaxing, and
For sure.
just calm down.
Does Gorge wishes that Naxxramas will extend its time before Burning Crusade releases?
Yes, Gorge hopes there's a lot more time than supposedly when the Burning Crusade starts its crusadery. Gorge hopes there's a lot more time, especially for those who just still want to experience it and, aren't so, in crazy doodle awesome stuff. Just, those who are just having awesome time, slow. Everyone's having an awesome time, but some are going at it slower, others are going at it fast, fast, fast.
For sure. And when it's coming out, when it releases, I know for a fact that you enjoy raiding with 40 people, of course, that you've probably attached with, became friends with. Everybody knows you there. And how do you think this will impact the split, not exactly split of rating, because 40 man won't be available anymore in Burning Crusade. It'll become 25 man and 10 man. How will that affect your interaction with the friends that you made, splitting up the raids from 10 man and to 10 man and 25 man?
Gorge has a feeling it's not going to be as bad as last time, because just some people might at that point just be like, you know what, rating was fine and all that stuff, but just gonna slow down, all that stuff. Or people might be really into it, but Gorge has a feeling it's gonna actually be splitting up not that bad, and hopefully everyone's gonna work together. Like, there's certain people that can't join certain raids, so they'll just make their own raids. The server will have a coalition of people helping out each other again. Hopefully, even more so now that as you say, some people might have to get cut. Some people might just stop, but some people have to just keep going. And some people might supposedly roll these new elves joining the hordes and having their paladins and whatnot. Oh, Gorge doesn't know if that's true or not. Might happen.
Now, are you gonna re-roll as a paladin, you think?
Who? You or Gorge?
Gorge.
Oh, they do look pretty.
And I've been hearing a lot of information about warriors in Burning Crusade, that they're practically gonna become less useful, as Is this a thing?
Gorge thinks that it's going to be an uphill battle, but hey, if you love it, if you love being a warrior, if you love being a rogue, if you love being a mage or any of that, if you love being your class, and you just work as hard, if you work hard on it, Gorge thinks you can do it more than you know.
Oh yeah, for
Better for
sure.
the person who's very devoted and happy than the person who's miserable and sad.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got that right. And
Yeah.
also, do you, so you played? Did you play Burning Crusade at all? Did George play Burning Crusade at all?
Oh, it was Gorge's most favorite time. Oh, it
Nice.
was a challenge. It was fun, but that's why Gorge like it was a real uphill battle. But Gorge made it out on top of most things and really just loved it. And was you certainly had to be creative, but as long as you kept at it, like not gonna lie, it's gonna be hard for some. It's gonna be hard for certain classes. But hey, if you just keep at it, you'll do it. But if you're wondering, hey, it's gonna be really hard for you, and you feel like you know something new, don't be afraid to try out something new. But you know, if you don't enjoy that new thing, then don't be afraid to go back to the old thing. But if who knows, you might enjoy the new thing.
Yeah. Um. Also, I remember doing the one world raid boss, Gruul, the Dragon Slayer,
Yeah,
and I do remember that you can 40-man him, right? Because he's not an instance. It's just a cave that you go into and you kill him.
really, gosh,
I
really.
th- I think I remember that right. Because people are saying it's 25-man, but I'm like, world bosses you can go as a 40-man. I
Pretty
think.
sure, pretty sure he was a 25 man. If Gorge
Okay.
has those time
Okay.
warping memories working.
Okay. Never mind then. Maybe
Well,
I'm. You're probably the third time. You're the third person who said that's 25-man, so it must be right.
we'll we'll find out if it ever happens. Shifty eye, shifty eye.
Yes, definitely. Oh man, such an awesome fight. I I remember when I when I played Burning Crusade and I re-rolled the shaman and fell in love with Elemental Shaman and Argent Dawn server. Yeah, of course, unfortunately, I was an alliance because I've said this, explained this a lot of times when my cousin bought the game, and a few months later he invited me to play the game. I wanted to play an orc hunter, and he has a human paladin, and he's leveling a rogue that time then too. And I told him I wanted to be a hunter orc, and he's like, "No, you can't because we can't communicate." And I'm like, "What?" I was like, "You have games like that we can't communicate?" It's like, "Yeah, it's a different faction." He explained it to me. I'm like, "Oh shit." All right, fine. I'd rather play with you than having a different faction and not play together. So I rolled the night of hunter, and we played the game. And then later on, expansion came. I rerolled the shaman. I fell in love with it, elemental, and I was level 70. We were gonna start on Gruul's Dragon Slayer, and we downed him to 1%, and I was the last person to survive, to die. I was just blasting him with my lightning bolt, and then unfortunately we didn't kill him at 1%. He came to me and killed me right there.
Good memories. That happens a lot, but so good memories still. Moments like that, as bad as they are good to cherish.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. And you remember how hard the dungeons were? You had to use your CCs and stuff. It's crazy.
Burning Crusade, Gorge remembers, was the biggest expansion where the best thing was also its worst thing, where it was you had to bring the class, not the player, for certain things. For dungeons, for sure. Sometimes raids for certain bosses.
Hmm.
And that's what made it a double edged sword. But again, you could still go at it with what you had, it would just be harder. but certain classes would bring certain advantages into certain dungeons. Like rogues could picklock certain doors to open to have a shortcut into the dungeon, especially if the dungeon's timed and all that. Gorge
Mhm.
remembers that.
Yeah, it's like ramparts or something like that.
Yeah.
So one of the ramparts, because there's like 3 different dungeons in there, and then this is when they first introduced heroics too.
Yeah, the heroics were. It'll probably be different now, but the heroics were no joke. It was like, oh, this is amazing.
No, so you played retail. You mentioned buying or getting Battle for Azeroth.
Yes.
Earlier. You played retail.
Yes. Oh, Gorge still plays it.
Oh, not the same character, Gorge.
Yep. Since the start. Gorge always tried something new. Like Gorge was in that Death Knight phase, and it's like, oh, this is not for Gorge. And then there's the Demon Hunter phase. Oh, this is not for Gorge. Always came back to the warrior. Gorge is Gorge.
That's awesome. And did you also get Shadowlands?
Yes.
And you play that as well?
Yes, actually. Try to play it here from time to time.
Nice. Yeah, I tried playing it. I got to level 52 or 53. I don't remember. I have my hunter. It's pretty fun. If I wanted to play all alone by myself, I can usually play that. Just here and there. But most of the time, I just focus on raiding next, since that's our main focus right now. We raid 3 days a week, and I can't really do anything else. I can, but I just hadn't had the time to play my character on retail. I do have the time, but sometimes I log in. I'm like, oh man, I'd rather play classic, and I go back to classic, and just try to level my hunter there. And also it didn't help that I got suspended in my account because of AFKing in AV for 7 days. It happened last Monday, and of course I had to tell the guild that I did that shit, and it's never fun. That's why I'm kind of taking advantage of talking to people right now. I had interviewed Sally from that was before that. I interviewed actually Lambida. Do you know Lambida?
Sounds familiar, probably.
See, he does the Mara Boost run, premium run. He's a mage.
Oh.
But yeah, I told him about that I got suspended, and yeah, that's my issue right now. I can't play until Tuesday. Luckily, Tuesday night is where we raid, so I'll be joining them again.
Well, interesting, because when it comes to like Gorge tries to juggle, Shadowlands with Classic, and it's actually so very hard, because the timing with Shadowlands it couldn't really be at a worse time, where Shadowlands and Naxxramas came back to back, and it's like, I kind of had to pick one or the other, because Naxxramas requires all your focus and attention, and Gorge had some friends who just went, sorry, we weren't going to go to Shadowlands. It's like Gorge still plays with them on Shadowlands, but it's like trying to play Naxxramas and Shadowlands has been a really uphill battle, because it's juggling both has been like, trying to juggle both good enough has been like whoa. Especially when you're trying to get ready for Naxxramas. That's like why. And on top of that, Gorge is working at a job, so it's like, job, Shadowlands, Naxxramas. Oh no. That's actually why Gorge, the job alone makes Gorge really hard to even prep for Shadowlands. It's like, whoa, or prep for Naxxramas, sorry. So it's like, whoa.
Now, is there times where, or have you thought about maybe playing playing retail would be in itself, where you could just play by in your own way, and having, have that moment of in your own to play by yourself, and just uh, enjoy the storyline of the retail, versus creating another character in classic. How is that different? Like, is that something that you've thought about? Like, if I just want to play alone right now, I don't want to be bothered by anyone. I Time to play retail, or time to create another character. Is there a dilemma in between that, before, when you want to play alone plus versus want to play with other people?
Quite the opposite. Gorge would like to play with other people most of the time, or at least even interact with other people. It's like, it's so boring just to be out there alone, just okay, just here by Gorge yourself, just doing stuff. Sometimes Gorge has to do that in retail with like world quests and whatnot, because it's hard to juggle that with a group. But it really stinks being out there alone, going, okay, just Gorge by the fire doing stuff. Oh, I'm gonna be snoring and snooze fest, just doing
Mm-hmm.
the dailies and whatnot. Even in classic, it stinks being alone.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least in classic, you would have actual people that would RP sometimes, and when it comes to that date, uh, you show up and everybody will be there. I don't think retail has the same, you know, element to that kind of stuff, because people rarely RPs in retail. I don't think, unless a lot of people who does, you know.
Well, Gorge can say that so far it seems like, as you say, the role playing in comparison seems more fun and more focused in classic, while retail is, it's there kind of, but it's not seem so prominent. What Gorge thinks though is because classic is player driven while retail is game driven, so that might have some problems with it. But so if it's player driven, you'll have more role play events, and if it's game driven, well, it's more focused on the game rather than role playing. You could still do it. It's just nothing's promoting or prompting you to do it.
Well, which server do you play? Maybe I'll join you sometime.
When retail,
Yeah, in retail.
Warm Rest Accord, it's the only horde roleplay there is.
Oh, nice.
Flex.
So I do have a lot of people who place there. I know a few people who place theirs from our server, um, Weimers Accord. It is the only one. I thought Argent Dawn was one of them too. RP. Oh, that's an RP.
Well, what Gorge heard from history was that there was a bunch of roleplay servers,
Mm-hmm.
but Warm Rest, but then it became two. But then two separate roleplay servers basically sucked up most of it, if not all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Warm
Now,
Rest Accord. Oh, sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Warm Rest Accord took all the Horde role players mostly, and there's some Alliance role playing. Well, it was the Moon Guard or something took all the Alliance role playing or something. I think Gorge thinks it's Moon Guard.
Is this
And
a big secret where Warmers Accord, where DV Delight players goes to Warmers Accord to play classic, to play retail?
Actually, it's pretty open. It's like most of the Deviant Delight players who, if not all, who play retail all went to Warm Rest Accord because of that reason. And yeah, one Gorge's friends too are also in Warm Rest Accord, where Gorge plays with them from time to time. They all moved to Warm Rest Accord because, and honestly, what's funny is it seems a lot better when all the friends from Deviant Delight moved to Warm Rest Accord. It seemed to got a lot better, that's for sure.
I bet, man. That's awesome. I'm probably gonna maybe move some characters then, or maybe just level some, or who knows? Because I asked a few people, if it's easy enough to level a character there from 1 to 60, and it seems like it is. And they did add this feature in retail where what is that called, like a sync level. Am I saying it right? When
Level
you're
sync.
Level sync, yes. What it is correct me if I'm wrong. What it is if somebody who's lower level, let's say I'm level 10, you're level 50, you invited me or invited you, and we enter a dungeon. Those dungeons that are level 10s that are accessible for me, you'd be able to come in as the same level as me, right?
Yes, sorry, Gorge's got that wrong. It's party sync, Gorge believes.
Party sync. Okay, all right. Yep, that's what it is.
Yes, a level 10 person could go with the level 50. You party sync it up, and Gorge believes you go at the party leader's designated level. So, say that party leader is 10. You all go to level 10, and you can go into the same dungeons, the same areas, and you can redo all the quests that you have already done. On top of that, there's another thing to make leveling easier, and that's this chromie thing where you talk to this cute little chromie girl who's apparently a bronze dragon, and she sends you through time to try out, expansions at the right level, and you could play through those expansions and all that stuff. Yeah.
Cool. Now, do you want this off the record at all? Can I share this?
Sure.
Information.
Sure.
So, whoever's listening that wants to try out retail, level 1 at Weimer's Accord, I guess the majority of players from DV Delight are over there. I mean, if they're not raiding at all, maybe they're playing from time to time. But I'm not here to actually fully encourage everybody to transfer or to switch, because Classic is always going to be my game, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you too, because of the community. And if you enjoy Classic and you enjoy retail at the same time, that's cool. But if you enjoy retail and that's more than Classic, that's cool too. Either way, if you're looking to find familiar faces or people that you like in our server, maybe Weimer's Accord is the right server for you if you ever wanted to switch to retail.
Gorge enjoys both, but prefers just gonna finish up Classic and all that stuff, and probably Burning Crusade and all that stuff. But if you enjoy both, yeah, Weimer's Accord.
Yeah, I can't wait until all the I'm still progressing on this whole podcasting thing. I can't wait until I bring more people in here and to talk to them, and maybe invite more people who are already interviewed and so forth. And really, man, it's been awesome talking to you. I'm glad that you came in here and talked with me. I appreciate it.
Well, Gorge can tell you, Gorge is so happy to come here and talk, and is so happy that you're doing this. It's so cool to see all this fan stuff being made. Oh, it's so amazing. Oh,
it is, and people should make more of this stuff. I encourage you. If you need help with that, like some sort of podcast or something like that, I can help you with that. Just send me a message or something.
Oh, more would be better. Yeah.
So before we end this, do you have anything else that you want to mention? Any shout outs at all?
Shout out to all of Gorge's friends. Shout out to the Thunderhofer tribes, the landlubbers, who took Gorge in since the start. Oh, so good. Shout out to Night Witches, who's helping out landlubbers. Shout out to Ribbit and Purge, who have been helping other people too. Oh, shout out to the Horde and the Alliance and everyone really. And currently in character, right? Always can't forget Keldrick and Namni and Aloingi. Oh yes. Oh.
Oh yeah, it's been really, really fun. I appreciate you coming in, man.
Oh, thank you. Oh, and shout out to Staple Guns too. Can't forget Staple Guns. Thank you for bringing in Gorge. Ooh. All right, Gorge is always up for this again.
Anytime, man. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Yay!